Come on, guys, let's go fishing.
All right.
Hey, Bryn, there's already one down here.
Come on, Bryn. Should we try to catch a fish?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see what's down this way.
Hi, I'm Bob Jensen. This is Fishing the Midwest. Thanks for stopping by. As soon as I get a new rod picked out, we're headed to South Dakota to catch walleyes with John Cooper. We'll be on Lake Oahe. After that, we're going to Iowa to fish a small river waiting for smallmouth bass. First though, walleyes, John Cooper, South Dakota. Here we go. Lake Oahe is a wide spot in the Missouri River and is formed by the second biggest earthen dam in the world. This fish-filled body of water is situated in a historic area in the middle of rolling hills and prairie, some of which has never seen a plow. This is the original land of where the buffalo roam and the deer and the antelope play. John Cooper has called the area surrounding Lake Oahe home for a good number of years. Coop has seen and done a lot of stuff in his lifetime, a lifetime that's been devoted to helping people in a lot of different ways. We'll talk about that later. I used to see and hang out with Coop a couple times a year, but you know how it goes. People go in different directions and lose touch. Last spring, Coop and I decided we needed to share a boat again for a couple of days, and we decided Lake Oahe north of Pierce, South Dakota would be a good place to do so. It was good to be chasing walleyes with Coop again. We arrived at Lake Oahe in late July. We put the boat in at Spring Creek Resort and Deepwater Marina. The Deepwater Marina thing is pretty important. Lake Oahe, being a reservoir, can have water levels that go up and down. A deepwater marina means there will always be plenty of water to launch your boat. We'll show you around the resort later. We got our lines in the water, and before long, Coop had one on. It wasn't a walleye, and it wasn't very big, but it was a start. Any size, Coop?
I think it's a small cat. He's doing his head shake thing.
Swinger?
Yep, I'll swing him in. That's what it is. Small smallie. That's that is a little smallmouth bass.
Not a catfish, not a smallmouth. Look at there.
Oh, we got it. Waldo.
Look at there, Coop.
Finally. What do you think of that deal?
Look at there.
Shall I net him?
A little bit of everything in this spot.
Yeah, this is finally.
I'm gonna net him.
Here, I'll get him for you, Bob.
I got it. That's okay.
You got it? Okay. Nice job, buddy.
Look at there.
You were probably thinking, does this guy know what he's doing?
No, I knew you knew that.
Yep, same depth, because that had to be some of those marks, Bob.
Yes.
There's 23, 22, 23 feet. Now that's that'd be one of our standard under 20s. It'd be about a 16.5 to 17.5 inch fish.
Perfect eater.
Perfect to eat. Here's your pliers. Go ahead and take him out. That's what right now we've got is 4 major year class sizes. And that one would be like the second year class size. We got them from this size up to that one that you just caught. And then those right at 19.5 inch fish, and then a lot of fish that are in the 21 to 22 inch class.
Lake Oahe is full of walleyes, and Coop is just a really good guy to fish with. When we come back, we'll do more of the same. Stay tuned. Fishing the Midwest is brought to you by Impulse. Excite the bite with scent, color, and action. Fraybill, trusted gear since 1938. WalleyeLeather.com. If you are a truly rabid walleye person, you should have already had this stuff. Dakota Grills, unleash your inner chef. Welcome back to Fishing the Midwest. It's mid-July. The walleyes are biting. We're in South Dakota. Let's catch some more.
This got to be a walleye. Staying down anyway. Holy smoke, there's a fish.
Coop, have you got a favorite time of year to fish Lake Oahe for walleyes?
My favorite time would be all of June.
All of June?
All of June. And
June is a good month.
It's a great month. And this has got to be a walleye. Pretty good fish. All of June, and then into the early part of July, the fish kind of start to scatter the end of July and the first parts of August.
Smallmouth.
Oh, yeah. See if I can get him in.
Bring it in net him.
Yeah.
Let's do that. That's a lot quicker.
And then let's get him out quick so we don't mess him up. Of course, this is a good net.
Yeah, that net supports it.
Fravel's, that's a great net with not him. But see, that is That's as pretty as it gets.
Yep. Yep.
He thumped it too.
He did
yeah.
too, I know.
Cool.
Ugh.
I like it.
That's fun. Lake Oahe has a very unique personality. You won't mistake it for a northern Minnesota or Wisconsin lake with pine tree covered shorelines. You could have a herd of cattle come down to visit you at water's edge, or you might see a coyote running over the hill. You'll also probably see lots of walleyes or smallmouth bass or channel catfish coming over the side of your boat.
This is 25 feet and we're looking for these individual marks, and we've been over 2 marks, and that's a classic walleye. Some will bite, some won't bite. You just got to keep going it's about depth, finding the right depth that the fish are holding, and then just kind of pounding the depth, staying within a couple of feet either side, 23 to 26.
Fish Coop.
Good
we
job,
saw him in the
buddy.
depth finder there, and we went. He's not very big. Oh, he's okay.
Well, let's see.
Oh, catfish. Boy, you see him in the depth finder though, and you catch him.
We got it. Yeah, and that's exact. But I think there's other marks back there.
Yeah. Here's what we're doing to catch our fish. We're using roach rigs tipped with crawlers. Coop has a bottom bouncer for weight. I'm using a rock runner slip bouncer. I like the way you can change weights so quickly with this rig. We're using bait casting equipment. 10 or 12 pound test bionic walleye line is perfect for this style of fishing. And we're only using half a crawler. That's gaining popularity across walleye country. We're fishing wind-blown points, keeping a close eye on the hummingbird. If we see bait fish or what we suspect to be walleyes, we drop them a line.
Yeah, that's a good walleye.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, good. That's another eater?
Yeah, that'd be another eater. It'd be one for the dinner tonight, Robert.
Yeah.
By golly, buddy, when we were talking about looking at the right marks, we finally were right.
Yeah.
You know what?
You know, I don't get out here that much, Coop. I used to come out here a lot in the mid 80s, early 90s. You hooked him just perfect. You did that just perfect, Coop. But this area just seems to be a real, it's got a lot of stuff.
In fact, one of the things that's kept me in Pierre is the variety of the outdoor activities that we have. We've got unbelievable hunting here, obviously. Everybody knows about the pheasant hunting. But we got grouse hunting, and we got great deer hunting. And on this lake right here, I've pheasant hunted, deer hunted, duck hunted, and coyote called, all from a boat at different seasons of the year. And this body of water is an amazing resource. What you got is walleye fishing, bass fishing, crappie fishing in the upper end of the reservoir. This is 230 miles long, this reservoir is, from Oahe Dam to just below Bismarck, North Dakota.
The weather is beautiful and the walleyes are biting. When we come back, we'll catch some more. Stay tuned. Fishing the Midwest is presented by Northland Fishing Tackle, made by fishermen for fishermen. Cabela's, it's in your nature. Ranger Boats, still building legends one at a time. Growth Energy, America's ethanol supporters. Welcome back to Fishing the Midwest. Coop really knows how to catch walleyes. He's also just a good guy to spend time with. Let's get out and see Coop some more. Any size, Coop?
Yeah, I think so.
Is it?
A little better than what we've been doing on some of those, though, I think.
How come we're using a smaller crawler?
Because these fish are real picky, and they're full of smelt and been eating on all that forage I've been talking about. This is a nice walleye.
Yeah.
And we're trying to give them something that is just kind of like an appetizer, a little delicatessen thing here going
My arm
on.
isn't that long, Coop.
Fish is, I'll get him right to you here. There you go.
I just goofed it up.
Anyway, that's what we're trying to do, is tease them into strike. And as you can see, we've been over some fish that have slipped off and gone down, and they really haven't bit. Well, they're not real super active. It's August.
Really well.
Yeah, look how fat he is.
Oh boy, look at that.
Yeah.
They've been eating a lot of stuff.
Lots. In fact, they're probably disproportionate for what most people think about walleyes.
Yeah, look at his head and then his belly.
A little bitty head and a great big belly.
Yeah, yeah.
Yep.
But just that smaller piece of crawler is the finesse thing we get him to eat.
Exactly right.
I've been fortunate to have spent some time with Coop fishing and hunting, and I've always noticed that he sets time aside for lunch during the day. Here's why.
I talked to a lot of Vietnam vets that were over there, not only with me, but in a lot of other places there. And we all had one of the same similar kind of dynamics, and that was that we never got a chance to enjoy a meal very much. We were always tensed up and things were happening and you just had to eat when you could eat. So now when I get a chance, you know, I'm kind of thankful that I came back with all my fingers and toes, and a lot of the guys I was with did not. And so I think you owe it to yourself to take time to reflect, and I always do better when I'm eating something to reflect.
While Coop and I finish eating, let's take a trip to Cabela's to learn about something that will help your fishing. Jake, you know, here in the Midwest, live bait is such an important part of our fishing, and lively live bait is really a big deal, isn't it?
Yes, it is. That's where the Frabill 1404 comes in handy here.
Why do you like this one?
I like it with the latch, then you're not going to have spills if it were to tip. The shape of it being that it's square, it's not going to tip on you anyway, but it also fits in the corners nice and easily.
And why do you like the latch system?
Why I like the latch system is because it's easier to open that way.
Yep.
But being that it's square and everything, it's not going to tip on you.
And you got this seal here?
You got a watertight seal in there too, so that you don't have any spills or anything like that.
And you don't need a minnow net?
Don't need a minnow net. Nice and easy to just pull out, grab your minnow or your leech.
Okay, now the aeration, how do you power that?
The aeration is going to be powered by 2 D-cell batteries.
And how long will they last there?
Approximately 6 hours.
Do they really?
Yep. Frabill's 1404 minnow live bait station, available at Cabela's.
While Coop and I take a time out to eat, Adam Sorensen is back with an idea on using his Dakota grills to prepare something really nice. Adam, what are you making today?
Well, remember yesterday we cured this chicken? Well, here it is. We're gonna get ready to smoke it on the grill. And for this we want to use mesquite wood. Of course, you don't want to go overboard with mesquite because it's a very potent flavor. So we'll just fill that level full.
And this is a good recipe for turkey and pheasants also?
Yeah, wonderful, especially for pheasant, because it'll make your entire pheasant juicy.
Yep.
And we're just going to season this up nice. Now this is brined, so it's already salty. So we don't have to put a lot of seasoning on, but we do want a little bit. And we want to smoke at 320 degrees. And enter it in. And chicken, as you recall, has to be cooked to at least 165 degrees in order to be considered food safe. So we need to adjust our probe temperature, and we're just going to go 165 exactly, and realizing that it will overshoot probably about 5 degrees, and that's all right. That's what we want anyway.
And we could also do that with turkey and pheasants, you said?
Yes, yes.
Yep.
And doesn't matter what you do it on, it makes it wonderful. Actually turns it into a form of ham.
Yeah, let's see what this guy looks like.
Alrighty.
And you said because of the way this cooks, it's like a rotisserie.
Yeah, because it's all insulated, it gives you even temperatures throughout.
All the way around.
And that means it cooks evenly. I'm gonna brown it very nicely from all directions.
It looks nice. Looks tender.
It's very tender.
Looks juicy.
Yeah. Show you what that looks like here. Let me cut into this and just show you how juicy that is.
Look at that. Wow.
Look at the juices coming running out of that breast meat.
Look at that.
And that is absolutely normal when you use
really?
this recipe. It's a little bit warm, but if you're
really
careful,
hot.
It's not bad.
When it's that hot, you can't be very careful. Oh, very moist. Really, really good.
Yeah.
Man.
You can just see the juices here.
Great advice. Now back to the fishing.
I think so. I'm looking at it. I can't tell for sure.
The water's pretty clear out here, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
This is not the big muddy.
No, no, no. Once these reservoirs were put in, then the big muddy kind of went away, and we got a lot of sediment here that is settling down, and then the water is clear. Let's see if we can get him, Bob. I'll get him.
A little closer, Coop. You got him.
All right, buddy.
Oh, that's another fat one, too. Look
Yeah.
at him. Boy, and that guy's fat. Look where you had him hooked, Coop.
Yeah,
You did that perfect, just like you planned it, right?
Yeah. I wish they were all like that, but I'd be lying if I told you they were.
As our day on the water was winding down, we noticed that the wind was starting to blow harder. On the way in, we passed a wind-blown point that had produced for Coop before, so we decided to give it a shot. I'm glad we did. See that guy?
There we go.
They look bigger in the water, don't they?
Yeah, they do. They always do.
Nothing wrong with that.
They always do. We're gonna. I think we got enough to eat, don't we, Bob?
Yes.
Okay. Let's just release her, him, whatever. Jeez, he's a fighting dude.
This net has a telescopic thing. I'm gonna just telescope out a little bit.
There you go. It's a nice fat fish, huh?
Absolutely.
A little bit better than what we've been getting. Let's see if we get him released here pretty good. Look how pretty.
Yep.
Now that's the gold standard walleye beauty.
Yep, that's what they look like out here. That nice clear water.
Beautiful fish.
You know, as you go through life, if you're lucky, every now and then you meet a special person. John Cooper is one of those special people. He truly has devoted his life to helping people, whether it be defending freedom in Vietnam, protecting wildlife as a senior resident for the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service, or as South Dakota's Secretary of Game, Fish and Parks, and as a volunteer for lots of different types of events that are meant to help people. Everyone I've ever met that knows Coop respects him and has only good things to say about him. I consider myself so fortunate to be one of those people. Lake Oahe is a tremendous walleye fishery. You got to check it out. When we come back, we'll be in a small river in Iowa, in the water, waiting for smallmouth bass. Catch us when we come back. Fishing the Midwest is presented by Northland Fishing Tackle, made by fishermen for fishermen. Cabela's, it's in your nature. Ranger Boats, still building legends one at a time. Growth Energy, America's ethanol supporters. You know, there are a lot of rivers throughout the entire Midwest that just lend themselves to wading. Let's get out and catch some smallmouth bass in a small river wading. Let's go. You know, too much of the time, we think of fishing as being a big boat, depth finder, GPS, lots of rods and reels and equipment sort of thing. And that's fine. Those tools will help us catch more fish much of the time. But we need to remember that fishing can be a very simple thing also. There are lots of places throughout the Midwest where all you need to catch fish is a rod and reel, a few basic baits, and a stream or small river. Small rivers can be found everywhere, and many of them are full of smallmouth bass. Bill Schultz is an expert at taking advantage of these rivers. Now don't get me wrong, Bill has a boat and spends a good deal of time chasing smallmouth from that boat, but he also catches a ton of smallmouth while wading. Bill and I got together one day last summer to wade for smallmouth. We hiked a short distance through a nice little patch of woods, came out just above a riffle in the river, and started casting. And it wasn't long before we were catching. There's one. Whoa.
Good going, Bob.
This one feels a little, well, these river, oh, that's a nice smallmouth, you know.
Not bad.
Nothing wrong with that.
That's a good one.
These river smallmouth all feel big.
You bet. Nice fish.
Kind of lean, thin, you know, kind of like me. Little crankbaits will catch fish. That's what Bill's using. My go-to bait is a thumper jig, 1/8 ounce with an impulse swimming grub, 3-inch length. Another good bait is a thumper crappie king. Put the bait in front of a bass and you'll probably get bit.
There we go. That's a nice one.
Yeah.
There's a nice one.
There. Like I mentioned earlier, Bill has a boat that he fishes out of. He also has waders that he fishes out of. Here's why he chooses his waders over the boat sometimes.
Another little one. There we go, another 10-incher, 10, 11-incher.
Yeah.
Well, they fight well, and you never know. Again, I think things are going to pick up a little bit.
Now, Bill, you have got a boat that you fish out of quite a bit. Big boat, nice boat.
Yeah.
Why do you choose to fish streams as much as you do?
Well, I'll be real honest with you. You know, the boat, I do a lot of fishing in Door County, Wisconsin. I've caught almost 3,000 smallmouth up there since '95. This year, an incredible 26 over 4 pounds. And once I get to the end of June, lake fishing for me gets a little tougher. This type of fishing, and again, not every year, but last year, beginning at the end of June through the end of October, I did almost 2,000 smallmouth on rivers.
This is kind of adventure fishing. Getting to the water in some areas can be challenging. It's a good thing I'm as graceful as I am. This is when waders are nice. You can just stay in the water and get around a lot easier. Bill keeps on catching fish.
Bob, there's a good fish. Nice little largemouth. You know, some of the rivers I fish for smallies, we don't have largemouth, but obviously down here we do. Not bad. Just a little river largemouth.
You know, river largemouth, river fish.
River fish.
River fish. Just, you know, they seem to run a little bit smaller much of the time.
You know what? Usually they're a little thinner.
Thinner.
But what's interesting, this year I've been finding a lot of fat fish.
Yep.
This guy's not, but this is typical.
Yeah.
Not real fat largemouth, you know, maybe 13 inches or so.
Sure.
But nice one, I'm gonna let him go.
Yep, and they expend so much energy in the current, you know, that they don't grow as fast, but they grow strong.
Yeah, and it's amazing. Again, 3-4 inches shorter than a lake fish, and they feel so much bigger.
Yes. On this day, we didn't catch any big fish. In fact, most of them were in the 12-inch range. Some were smaller, some were maybe a little bigger, but they were all fun. River fish are strong and they fight good, and they're willing biters. And it's just a good time getting in the water with the fish. Wherever you live in the Midwest, there's a river nearby that has a good population of fish. You don't need a lot of gear to catch them. You just drive down to the bank of the river, get out and start fishing. The surroundings in many river areas are beautiful. The fish like to get caught. That's a winning combination any day. This year, put on a pair of shorts and some old tennis shoes, grab a spinning rod and a couple small lures, and discover what rivers across the Midwest have to offer. I bet if you do it once, you'll do it again. Wherever you live in the Midwest, you can take advantage of wading in rivers. And wherever you live in the Midwest, you should check out Lake Oahe if you want to catch walleyes. Hey, for everybody at Fishing the Midwest, thanks for stopping by. Be nice to one another. We'll see you again next time.